I've realized my lips are peeling and I'm embarrassed for myself. Like, I can't even care for my own lips.
Oof. Same. It's the way you put the chapstick on for me. What the fuck?
I just got to really lather it on. This is like a HD close-up camera.
Interesting.
Should I get rid of the cowboy getup?
Maybe just unbutton it once.
Well,
let it all hang out.
But I have an undershirt on.
Take your undershirt off.
They don't care about this.
Should we all take our shirts off? Chris, take your shirt off. Put it down. Creepy.
Hello, you guys, and welcome to another episode of The Sip. I'm Ryland Adams, of course, joined by...
Elizabeth, I'm okay.
I didn't even get to jump on with you.
I'm sorry. We've been blowing it on this
Are we going
thing.
to? Well, because I don't know exactly what you want to go by for sure. Is it Elizabeth home okay? Is it Lizzie home okay?
We're trying things out. My friends call me Lizzie.
No, when I went to your wedding, they were all calling you Liz, and I was looking around
they're
like
old friends. They're old friends.
Yeah, it's the same thing as when I go to a party with.
And they call you Ryan.
Yeah, and have I already said this? I'll introduce myself as Ryland, and then somebody else will say, "Hey, Ryan," and I'll respond, and then the person I just introduced myself to is looking at me like I'm a psycho.
Lied to. Yeah. No, I get it. I definitely will be going by Lizzie. But Elizabeth home okay sounds better when I say it out loud.
On the podcast. So that's how we'll be addressing you. People keep wanting me to change the title card, but to be honest, Shane made it, and I don't know how to remake a new version of it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not changing my handle on Instagram either.
You already did.
I changed my name, but not my handle. My handle's still Lizzie period
so
Gordon.
Now nobody's ever going to be... We already had this conversation, too. Have you been having a good week?
No. You know I haven't. You told me that I couldn't talk to you about it. Thanks for the pod.
We're doing 2 episodes in 1 week right now because we had to shift some things around, and I hate to break it to everyone.
It's Friday.
Well, yes, it is Friday, but there's also next week not going to be an episode. Ugh. And I know I do.
Hold on. Let me take a moment to apologize to my audience, you guys. I'm so sorry. This wasn't my choice.
It's never your fault. It honestly isn't.
It's Chris's fault.
Well, no. This episode's still going up. This week is fine.
No, I know it's not. I know next week's not Chris's fault, but I do like to blame Chris for most of my woes. Sorry, Chris.
It's my fault. I'm sorry.
No, but my sister got a house. It's my mom's birthday and 4th of July next week. So I'm going to go hightail it out to Colorado and see everybody there. So we won't have an episode. And I do pride myself on being consistent, even with the time that we upload, because I like to let people rely on it being there.
Oh, I literally, on Wednesdays, I try to wait in bed until 9:14.
Lizzie knows it's 9:14 because I'm psychotic and I can't do, I can't do just 9 a.m. That seems
insane.
Like a crime.
A crazy person would do just 9 a.m.
I have to do 9:14.
Yeah.
Unless something goes wrong with the upload would be the only other reason it goes up late. But there won't be an episode next week, but we'll be back the following. And I don't foresee a break again for quite a while. Like I said, the last time we took a break, over Christmas break, I do want to start getting guests on the show.
Yeah.
So we're going to really try for that this summer.
We go get some peaceables.
Hot guest summer.
We'll go get some guests.
But now that we've done our housekeeping, is that what it's called?
I guess so.
Like in school when they would go over the PA system and do their bit, all the thing. Okay, maybe I'm alone.
It's like, I don't know, like an agenda.
Yeah, Chris says, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that housekeeping is out of the way.
Yeah.
Lizzie, tell us about your bad week.
I lost my wallet. Do you know how annoying that is? I lost my wallet with fucking everything in it. And Job was like, well, thank God you lost all those unnecessary business cards you haven't used for the last 5 years. And here's the sick joke. I had just taken those out and left them in my purse to throw away later. So all I have now are the unnecessary business cards. I lost my COVID vaccine card. I lost my driver's license. I lost my credit cards. I lost my bank cards. I lost everything.
That is an awful day.
It's a fucking nightmare. And then I had to I'm pretty sure I lost it at this restaurant that I like to go to. And I called them because I was like, hey guys, did you find a tiny little wallet? And they were like, no. And I was like, I don't believe you for some reason. So I went to the restaurant and I asked them very nicely to pull the seats out from the...
You sat there with your arms folded, watching them pull apart their tape.
I helped look. I'm not about to go into a fucking restaurant and rip the seats apart myself. I asked them to rip their seats apart so I could look underneath them.
And no,
I looked in the gutters outside the restaurant. I went to all the restaurants by the restaurant. Nobody had it. Nobody seen it.
The worst part about this is...
I did find a pair of old glasses, though, while I was looking in my couches for it. which are my really nice John Varvatos glasses that I like lost.
Which you're not wearing today?
No, I'm not wearing them today because when I put them on, I'm like, oh, God damn it, this is an old prescription. So it's like, why even wear it? I lost them years ago and found them looking for my wallet.
Inside of your couch?
Yeah.
Couches are nasty. You got to deep clean those.
Couches are so gross. I found like 5 vape pens in there too.
And was there just a plethora of crumbs and food? And
it's mostly like dog fur blankets.
Yeah.
Like just fur that's fallen off and is so dense and thick that it is woven itself into a throw blanket. It is disgusting. So, it's probably why my eyes are watering like crazy.
Now you're going to have to go back to the DMV, call the credit card places.
I got to figure out what credit cards I lost, but like I don't use my credit card, so I don't even know like...
Well, you still have to cancel them because...
I know, so I just have to like call MasterCard and be like, hi, my name's Elizabeth. Can you tell me whether or not I have a card with you guys? And if I do, can you cancel it?
And the way the world works, as soon as you do all the legwork...
I'm going to find my fucking wallet.
Yeah, somebody's going to call you. Some patron's going to call you and say, hey, I found your wallet somewhere. I was hoping for your advantage that at least you would have lost it with all the business cards and maybe you could have gotten a gig out of it. It would have been everything.
Oh, they're not my business cards. They're strangers' business cards that I've just been holding on to for like a decade. Because I feel bad throwing them away.
I thought you had like the headshot business card.
Well, it's other people's headshot business cards.
I know, but do you have any?
No, of course not. Why would I have business cards? I have no business. I mind my own business.
Well, I've had a very exciting week.
Good for you.
I had a big Hollywood audition.
No, you didn't.
And I've been. Are
you joking?
I've been running around the house screaming that I'm a famous actress.
What are you talking about?
To everyone that will listen.
I will listen. You didn't tell me.
Well, I wanted to save it for the podcast, and you called me the other day, and you were like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I'd rather not tell you."
Oh, this is the secret.
And you were so angry with me, but I was like, I would rather have your authentic reaction on the podcast.
What is it for? I'm upset if you're auditioning and they didn't call me to audition too because the what type happened, now I expect it.
Well, okay, if you don't remember, Lizzie and I both had gotten called in for lead roles in a sitcom.
That was canceled because they didn't cast us. The people spoke and they said, fuck that shit. Where's Lizzie and Ryland?
And we discovered, like, without relation, we were both called in separately.
Yeah.
And like, I have this commercial agent from way back in the day.
Right.
And I guess the creator of that show had her daughter watched my vlogs or something, and she was writing the character, and I popped into her mind. So that's why she called me into audition. It didn't work out. Like, I didn't even get to audition. They had to go a different direction with the character.
I did get to audition. And they still said no, which was shocking.
But then, since then, the agent, he like keeps hitting me up and he's like, well, do you want to act? Do you want to act?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, not really, but
not no.
But not no.
Yeah.
And I was like, I have no business acting. Like, I'm a very bad actor, and I'm aware of that.
But you're so cute.
So I said, listen up. If you send me out for things that are as close to me as possible, I'm all about it. I think it's a fun time. I love running around the house screaming that I'm a famous actress for Shane to listen.
Yeah.
And so I get this email, and I'm all excited. And
what
I'm
was
like,
it for?
Well, okay, hold on. I get the email, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I run over to Shane. I was like, I got an audition, but you have to self-tape right now still with coronavirus. And I was like, should I do it? And he was like, oh my gosh, yeah. But the thing about this is they're treating it like it's a Marvel movie.
What the fuck is it, though?
I'm trying to tell you.
God damn.
They're treating it like it's a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
They send a 20,000-page NDA. Like, I'm not kidding. Such a large NDA.
And now you're talking about it on the pod.
And they say you can't even get the sides until you get the NDA signed. And then they're being all secretive about it and wouldn't send the sides until 12 at night. And so the role looked as though it could be something that I could take on. So
it's like a YouTube Red original.
No, it's something legit. It is. I can't say because I signed the NDA and I'm not trying to get sued.
You better tell me off camera, you son of a bitch. Do you know how many NDAs I sign and I disrespect so that I can keep you in the know?
Well, half the reason. Okay, so then I got the sides, and it's for a straight man hitting on a woman. Like, literally.
Do you want to practice?
And so
do you want to practice? Look at me. Look me in the eyes and tell me you don't find me attractive.
And so then Shane and I'm like, well, this isn't what we thought. And it wasn't my agent's fault.
Yeah.
The description seemed as though it was exactly me. But then you get the sides and it's a whoop-de-doo, it's a straight man. And I'm already.
It might be funny if you go in hella gay playing it, like just being you, like talking. Like,
well, the audition's done.
Did you do it? No, you pussed out.
Well, so then Shane and I are going back and forth about if I can pull off straight or not.
Of course you can. You did for years.
No
one saw this coming.
And I kept saying like, well, Lizzie always says that I can kind of be mistaken as either way if I'm not excited about something. When
I don't know that I say you could be mistaken as either way. I just say you don't check a lot of the boxes on my gay friend list. Like that's what I say.
So then I'm panicking the whole next morning because the audition's due by end of day, 6 p.m. end of day. And I already had a full day of work ahead of me. And so I needed Shane to read with me, and then we start doing it. And remember, the whole day before, I'm like running around as though I'm the most famous actor in the world.
As you should.
Like this is my big Hollywood break.
Yeah,
this
Golden
is it
Globes,
for me.
Emmys.
And then I start trying to break down the character, and we do the first take, and I realize just how tragic I really am and how hard acting actually is, because
oh my God.
I like to think that I'm pretty self-aware. So I could tell when the lines I was saying weren't authentic and didn't come across as natural, but I didn't know how to solve the problem. Like just because I knew it wasn't there didn't mean I could get all the way there. And we were in between like laughing so hard that I couldn't get it and also being very frustrated that I couldn't get it. And I'm a Taurus. I'm very structured and I have to follow through on things. I don't like to not follow through. And so it's 5:30 p.m. My agent's texting me like, hey, is it going to be here? I have to send it off by 6. And I'm like panicking that I don't have something. So I run outside and I've been doing it for 3 hours. I'm sweating. It's like not a lot of dialogue at all. I'm like, hey, it's for a straight man and I just don't know if I can do it. It's probably better look for you to just call and tell them
I'm gay. Like I'm gay.
Because best case scenario, I send them an audition that isn't embarrassing and the person who is the straight guy that is this role is going to book it and they remember me for something else. That's
for
like
the gay guy.
Such an actory thing to say. Like, oh, they'll just
book the room. Me. Book the room.
I'll book the room. And I couldn't even do that. So I called my agent. I was like, I hate to be unreliable, but
what is your agent's name?
Tyler. We love Tyler.
We love some Tyler.
We love Tyler.
Some tickaboo.
So then I was like, okay, I'll try one more time. I'm so frustrated. Shane's trying to vlog me being upset that I can't get it. I was like, if you pull out that fucking vlog camera, Jesus. I swear to God, I'm going to walk out of the house like not at him, but like,
this is what
I was like, this isn't even vlog material. I'm so angry.
I mean, I don't think that's true. I think that's when you're the most vloggable. Well, like when you were having a meltdown over not being able to do a certain TikTok dance, like I died. I loved that shit and that struggle so fucking much. Like some would say that got me through another month of quarantine.
But I'm in on that. This, I was like...
Are you?
I thought my advantage to being an actor was that I didn't care so much that it might play to my advantage. Like, I'm not so serious. My life doesn't depend on it because acting is very competitive and very serious. Even to get an audition in the acting world, or even to have an agent in the acting world. Like people try very hard for a very long time to get representation. So I was like, maybe my advantage is that it's just something fun for me. It's a side hobby. And if it takes off because I'm a star, great. And
he also said he was very self-aware moments ago, right?
Well, I live between like knowing
delusion
I'm this
and reality
famous actress, but then when I watch it, there's no denying that it's not it.
Yeah.
So then I did finally like 5:55 p.m., 5 minutes before it's due, got a take that wasn't so embarrassing. So I texted him. I was like, I'll send you the very best of the worst. And you can decide if you're going to send it or not. Like, I'll leave it up to you.
You're such a nightmare. I can't do it. I'm just too gay. Hold, I'm sending you my worst take, but if you tell me it's my worst take, it's going to hurt my feelings. So just know that this is the best of the worst.
I said...
Tyler asked.
He said, well, I would like to see it to judge for myself. He did request. And I said, well, I don't even know if I'm comfortable with you seeing it because then you might not even want to send me out on roles that are myself. And so then I got one that I was like...
And then he dropped you?
No, he said, I've seen 30 tapes today and this is very well polished. And I said,
what does he mean by polished? Like it's a nice camera and sound quality or?
I think he sent it. So TBD. We'll see.
Let's get Tyler on the phone. Let's ask Tyler some questions. Hey, Tyler, it's Lizzie. Number 1, I'd love to be represented by you. Number 2. What did you mean by polished?
Do you want me to pull out his texts? He said some very nice things.
About me?
He said with the right roles, I'll book. And so that's what I'm thinking. That's where I live in my delusion. I'm thinking like
Tyler's supporting your delusion.
If it's a character that's like this 28 to 32-year-old gay man that's like the assistant to a head honcho that pops in for a couple lines every episode, I'm there for it. And then as I build up my acting tool belt, I'm going to be a star.
Right.
So I'm basically a star.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely. You are a star. You've always been a star.
You're going to catch me on TV any second.
Absolutely.
I'm waiting for the call. But the part of my breakdown was after I had done this scene 20 times.
Yeah.
And I was like having a full blown breakdown.
Did you cry?
The result is going to be like worst case scenario. I book this job and then I have to actually show up to set and do this. And so I was like, I don't even know why I'm doing it because I don't think the day in the life of booking this job is the result of what I want. But I have to follow through on what I committed to. So I just realigned my acting requirements to Tyler. I said, hey, like, we just got to be very positive of what we're sending me out for because we just need to both be self-aware here. But that's why I like him. I can tell him, because if I went into an agency's office and said, I'm a great actor, I can only play myself, they'd be like, well, then you're not an actor, fuck off. Tyler's like, okay, great, we'll make this work.
I hate you. I like literally hate you. Listen, Tyler, I don't really want to work very hard at this thing, but I do want to be a famous actor someday. So if you could please sugarcoat and perfectly package this insanely competitive industry that people die for every year to work for me and my brand, I would appreciate it. Thank you, Tyler, so much. XO Ryland.
Well, okay, that's my thing. I know.
What the fuck?
I didn't accidentally get here. I was his commercial agent.
I just want it to be fun when I book the lead role in something. I want it to be fun. I love you.
I want to be picky and choosy. I want to have my cake and I want to eat it too.
You know what? Here's what Megan Thee Stallion says. There are two kinds of people in this world and she's a chooser.
Same?
Yeah, and I think there's power in that. I think we get to choose who we are. And today, I am no longer a beggar. Get Tyler on the phone. I've got some demands.
Here's the thing, though. If I was just delusionally saying, he even said on the phone, I said, well, if we turn this down, is that a worse look than me just sending something? Because I don't like being flaky. Mm-hmm. And he said, well, they will respect an actor that knows their limits if they can't get it. I was like, well, this is the most simple audition I could probably get. A page and a half of basically no dialogue. So they're going to be thinking he can't do this. But that's what I'm thinking is just like, if I'm very specific and we only send me out for things that I'm perfect for, my booking rate will probably be high. And it's not that I'm not taking it serious. If I get a role that I'm right for, I'm having an acting coach to my house that same day. I'm having them come on set with me. I'll take it very seriously.
Here's something that a very wise man once said, and it's, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take, Michael Scott.
Okay, well, tell that to the 21-year-old me that got a singing acting audition when I was 21 and went into the room very well knowing I couldn't sing and sang in front of a casting director.
Are you, this why you
I was
karaoke?
So blindly confident.
I love that, though.
That I just was like, I can't sing, but they'll still love me.
I love
and so
you.
And that's the growth in the last 9 years is that I know what I should and shouldn't be doing.
You're only likable in a certain light. He needs a likable light.
So aside from that, I found my first gray hair this week. Well, Shane did. I'm sitting on the couch and he pulls out a gray hair. And so to you and last week, us feeling old.
We didn't need that update.
It feels
you can fucking save that update. You can take that gray hair and shove it up your ass. It's none of our business today. I was feeling better. I was feeling better about my age this morning. And then here we are. Old as fucking dirt again.
I wanted to follow up on the pussy smelling from my vlog.
Yeah?
Okay, well, we were in Mexico. If you haven't seen my drunk vlog, I was very curious about the smell of a woman's genitals. Because I had seen a joke somewhere in passing that they were saying a woman's...
No, here's the deal. I saw some people saying that it was rude of you to say that. The fact of the matter is you didn't give birth to the fishy pussy
Right. And I had,
Saga.
in passing that day before I got drunk, heard somebody refer to a vagina smelling like fish.
Yeah.
And then I got drunk, and in the vlog, I was curious about the stench of, or the type of fish. And then I was just going on this drunk journey about, like,
different fishes
is it
smell different.
tilapia, salmon?
Yeah.
Is it all the time? Is
very
it just
funny.
after you work out?
And you seemed genuinely curious.
And I am.
Yeah.
And so then Shane was like, well, you should ask Lizzie, because
Which also made me laugh because while I was watching your vlog, I was like, oh, I can tell him. And then Shane, like, right after I had that thought, he was like, I mean, why don't you ask Lizzie? And then it killed me. You're like, well, she only knows, like, what one vagina smells like.
unless she's
like smelling her friends' vaginas. And it's like, I will say this, like, I can't speak for every Badussi, but for my Badussi, she smells differently depending on what I've put her through that day. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I meant. Like,
And sometimes she doesn't smell at all.
because sometimes, like, yeah, my genitalia can smell different depending on if I was in a hot yoga class or just got out of the shower.
And
it
then
doesn't
there's
smell
also,
like fish. But
sometimes the smell of your Badussi can indicate infections. Sometimes the smell of your Badussi can indicate pH levels being unbalanced. There's a whole bunch of shit that goes down with your vagine. Like if you've been on a road trip, like I consider sometimes road trip pussy as a smell.
And is it fishy?
No.
So where does the fish?
I think sometimes a pussy can be fishy.
I mean, I just feel like it has to be. I mean, it's a stereotype, right?
It's a stereotype and it's a joke because, you know, I mean, like, honestly, like, it can smell differently depending on anything, and sometimes it can smell like nothing at all.
And so when it smells like a fish, there's something wrong.
Probably.
And you need to go get. There seems like a lot of things that can go wrong with vaginas.
Dude, they're so fragile for being so badass. Like, you can shove a baby through that shit and get 3rd-degree tears on your Badussi, but also if you don't fucking wipe right, you have a massive infection that could affect your fucking blood.
And
like,
always getting what are the too much sex? Oh, why can't I think of it?
I don't know.
The common thing that people get.
UTI?
Yes, a UTI.
Oh, yeah, but you can get a UTI from wiping wrong. You can get a yeast infection from working out and not changing your pants soon enough. Like, crazy shit can happen to your pussy, but you can also get, like, a 3rd-degree tear and live through it. Like, it's nuts.
I feel so clarified. No,
Yeah.
I really don't. Well, so...
The answer is, yeah, it can smell like fucking anything.
What kind of fish?
I don't know, dude. Depends on what's going down. Like, if it smells particularly like a rancid fish, you probably have bacterial vaginosis and should see a fucking doctor. I would say if you have a gnarly smelling pussy, you should talk to someone about it.
Today's episode is supported by Canva Pro, the easy-to-use design platform that has everything you need to design like a pro. Whether you're a professional designer or just getting started, Canva Pro can help boost you and your team's productivity and creativity. It's quick, easy, and an affordable way to design whatever in the world you need. I had and still have very basic design knowledge, and it's 100% something that's required with my job as a YouTuber. So instead of spending hours on platforms that I couldn't comprehend to create designs, I use Canva Pro to help spice up my graphics, whether that be inside videos or to help with my thumbnails. And Canva Pro not only saves me money, but a lot of time. So no matter what you're creating and sharing, Canva Pro has everything you need right in one place, including a collection of over 75 million premium photos, videos, audio, and graphics. My favorite thing about Canva Pro is that they have a design template for everything you could ever dream of. And then they have stock footage and images, like I said, so it's not like you're leaving the platform to find a bunch of things. It's literally all right there. There's no idea that's too big or too small for Canva Pro. It accommodates startups, students, marketing teams, nonprofits, entrepreneurs, crafty moms. Literally anyone can benefit from Canva Pro. So design like a pro with Canva Pro. Right now you can get a free 45-day extended trial when you use our promo code. Just go to canva.me/thesip to get your free 45-day extended trial. That's canva.me/thesip. Canva.me/thesip for your free 45-day extended trial.
Ooh. I don't like the way you just looked at me, but I love you.
Don't turn this around on me.
You know I'm crazy right now.
Well, I was just saying, I think Lizzie's like maybe mad at me today. And she said, well, it's not personal. I'm menstruating.
Yeah.
One take two.
I'm mad at the fucking world, Chris. Watch those fingers.
Sorry.
I will burn this shed down.
I'm afraid.
You should be. Fucking barbecue your little bones up in this bitch.
Should we just call it a day?
No, I've got too much to say.
All right. Well, why don't you kick us off with some headlines?
In continuation of like Badissi conversations, I saw online that if you sun your genitals, it can up your sexual libido.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've never, I guess, thought to do that.
I never have either, but I also must be vitamin D deficient because I spend so much time in the fucking house. But it was very interesting because they were talking about how vitamin D is a huge part of a person's sex drive. So sunning your genitals, you get the vitamin D from the sun, can reawaken your sex organs. But they're like saying don't do it for too long because it's a sensitive spot. Obviously.
But a little bit goes a long way.
A little bit goes a long way.
I mean, I guess that makes sense because even for my mood in clothes, I am way better off if I take a walk out in the sun and get some vitamin D. I guess the only time my genitals see the sunlight is if I jump in the pool during the day because I pretty much like to swim naked.
Oh, I didn't know that about you.
Yeah.
I love that. I don't think my vagina's ever seen the sun.
Really? Should we
sun our Badissis?
Together?
I don't know.
We could put up like a tent between the lawn chairs. Well, I guess
like,
if the point's to get horny, that's kind of weird.
No, that is very weird. I forgot about that point. But the other point is like, I'm on my period. Like, I don't want to sun my Badissi with you right now.
I guess maybe I'll do that today, this afternoon.
Yeah.
See if it works out for me.
Well, if you are swimming naked all the time, maybe that's why you're such a sexual go-getter. A sexual achiever.
But I
don't
do
know.
imagine it would feel nice to just lay out and let it all
the
flop
pictures
around.
I saw online, which I would do right now if I wasn't wearing this slitty little number, but they're like literally laying with their legs up, holding their legs up, sunning their taints and shit.
I forgot. I was going to say my only fear is the wildlife around my house.
Oh, you do have a lot of lizards. They might bite your butthole.
And I forgot to tell you the other day that my gardener sent me or walked up and showed me a picture of a full daddy rattlesnake.
We have to leave.
A full daddy rattler.
This is why I don't want to be here.
I'll have to ask him for the picture, but he came up and showed me literally
get the wrangler back out here.
Entryway, a thick daddy rattler. And he said,
get that guy out here. Sorry, did I scare you?
I'm just as scared.
You,
I mean, between the mouse that we found in the house and this rattlesnake, it's like, where I got to go somewhere.
Move back to the city.
No, I hate people. Okay, I did want to hit on Britney Spears a little bit because even though we're doing this, we're
pre-recording.
Yeah, we're recording this.
So a lot of things might have developed between now and when we air this episode.
But bottom line, it's fucked up.
It's fucked. Free Britney. And here's the other thing. Why the fuck are we waiting for the courts to free Britney? Do you know what I'm saying? How about this woman's been held falsely imprisoned for years? They're stealing her money to hold her hostage.
And that's what I think one of the things that really struck me was when she said, I'm essentially in prison and I'm paying the people that are imprisoning me to keep on doing it without any choice in the matter.
Yeah.
And even what was crazy to me is she said she had met some group of two girls in AA and she used to enjoy seeing them and they wouldn't even let her have any outside contact with the outside world. And it's probably because they didn't want her to realize that she had the right to try to get out of the conservatorship and they were keeping her in this locked up bubble.
Yeah, it's so unbelievably fucked. I literally cannot believe that after she spoke to a judge about this, said what was happening to her, which like is so crazy that we're still going to sit here in a room while this woman is being held captive against her will. Like that seems nuts to me. And you hear a bunch of attorneys saying things like, well, it's legal. Well, it's legal. It's like, well, no, the law's been bent. It is illegal. It is illegal to falsely imprison someone. It is illegal to falsify medical documents to state that a person is medically incapable of taking care of themselves when, in fact, they're also capable of choreographing an entire Vegas show, teaching the choreography to their dancers, showing up to work 7 days a week, 10 hours a day. That's a capable ass person.
And I just didn't realize how imprisoned a person could actually become. It spiraled so out of control that
they won't even let her travel to states where they don't recognize conservatorships because they would lose authority over her.
And I guess she's just monitored at all hours. What broke my heart is the second she got off that call, how many people swarmed her and took her out and away. And does she have any access? Her big thing, she kept saying, I want to be released without a medical evaluation.
Yeah.
And that's because the last time I had a medical evaluation, everything amplified and got even worse.
Yeah.
And so to me, it really does come down to, I guess in courts, her freedom is based upon these psychiatrists that are giving her a mental evaluation that who knows if they have stake in the game to keep her in this place, and all of these people that are profiting off of this machine of keeping her in prison. And it's heartbreaking. It's gut wrenching. Nobody should be without any rights. She can't choose to have a child. Are you kidding me?
Well, she didn't even have the choice over the birth control that they put inside her body. They gave her an invasive procedure to put an IUD inside her body that she does not want.
Well, if her speaking out doesn't change things, I feel like there's no way that it can't get better from now. And my heart breaks because now the whole world's talking about her again. Can you imagine having to do, I know that this is probably in her favor because there's so much support around this, but I also can't imagine the mental trauma that is the entire world talking about you again. It's probably so exhausting.
It's probably really exhausting, but I also want to say, like, in situations like this where you are literally a victim of somebody else's shitty, fucked up, psychotic behavior, you should not be embarrassed by what was done to you against your will.
No, and
I definitely think that this should be an empowering moment for people, and men and women alike, who have been, who have lived through experiences such as these where their autonomy was taken from them forcefully, and for them to not feel small because of it, for them to not feel like their power has been stripped from them forever because one monster did something. It's like that monster did something, but that's what they're good at. Monsters are good at being monsters. Right. So you can never take that personally. Britney Spears, who's in the public eye, who's a very powerful woman who, as she said, is great at what she does, was able to be taken advantage of like this. And it's because the system's fucked up and corrupt. It's because lots of money's at fucking play. And a lot of dark characters behind the curtains are pulling the fucking strings.
And they kept her in a world where she probably couldn't access any information.
Literally. And they threatened her with her children. And fuck you.
She did seem very, not only with it, but at the very beginning, I don't know if you listened to the whole extended version, but somebody else from the other side jumped in and said, well, we don't want her speaking so candidly about XX and X because we don't want to reveal any of this. And she goes, well, people have been spinning my narratives and telling and going on and on about my life forever. I think it's very fair that I'm allowed to have my say finally.
Yeah, they were concerned about her parents and her family's privacy, and she's like, fuck that.
They do interviews all the time.
She was like, I was put in a mental institution for 4 months where they watched me change and I couldn't be naked alone ever. So that's okay if they feel a little exposed right now. Like forcing her to go to therapy where they know she's going to be paparazzi'd while she's crying. Fuck you. All of this is so insane and disgusting to me. It reminds me of a horror movie. Like, oh my God.
And yeah, I wish her well. If there's something we can do, I want to actively do it.
It's so crazy to me. It's like, I honestly think about certain situations where it's like, if it were my daughter and I'd been estranged from my daughter and I heard her on the internet saying these things, I would go fucking get her Rambo style.
The family dynamics don't seem great. And
no, I know, but it's just like to the same degree, it's like, when is enough enough? Like, your heart bleeds for a stranger when there's injustice happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, I go to protests because I give a fuck about what's happening in this world. And it's like, when you hear things like this, like, should we be storming Britney's house? Like, do we set? No, I'm not going to incite violence, but.
No. Yeah, I mean.
But it feels crazy to me that police are not knocking on her door right now saying you're free.
It feels at a point where it should be bigger than just her in a house waiting for another court hearing.
And what's super fucked up is, like, my mind just keeps going back. Sorry, it's slightly derailed, but I really am upset about this because it also goes back to, remember how she likened herself to a sex trafficked human being? Mm-hmm. a lot of people, when they're like literally kidnapped and forced into sex trafficking, be it by like it's forced prostitution, but they like get a person intentionally hooked on drugs so that they can't leave because they're physically and emotionally dependent on this relationship. They're ashamed to go home because they've been demoralized, they've been brainwashed, all these things. I've seen a lot of people who have gotten out of human trafficking, and they say that they would go to the police, but the police would imprison them for prostitution. And it's like, it's not prostitution, it's forced rape. They're not making the money off of this. They're not, like, all of that shit is crazy. So in a lot of ways, for a lot of people to come out of human trafficking, they intentionally get arrested for shoplifting or for something else because they'd rather be in jail than forced out on the streets by the people who have abducted them and ruined their fucking lives. And there's no legal institution that protects them from this. They have to wait out the criminal justice system for their freedom. And that is so fucked to me.
And yes, yeah. It's just crazy because they said she's been on all this medication and then they put her on lithium, which is another crazy. And how much of this is accurately prescribed versus helping their cause? It's just all so insane.
Yeah.
And we obviously wish her well. Free Britney. This is so fucked up. It's hard to comprehend. And
oh, it's so upsetting. I just love everyone. I love my audience. I love Britney. I love you. I love Chris. This is so fucked up.
I don't even know, like, how do we transition out of that?
No, I know.
It's like, oh my God,
damn.
fuck.
Let her out, dude. This woman has proven her mental capacity. She's able to present herself and those facts without screaming in rage. I couldn't. I'm about to scream in rage. Like, I literally feel like I'm getting chills and hives.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so upset even thinking about it. Like, let her go. And definitely say you're sorry. And for sure, let her sue her family.
Yeah. It's hard to believe that and so sad that she doesn't even have her family. You know?
No.
Fame is hard enough when you're of a pop star.
Yeah.
And then you add in the mix that not only is your family not on your side, they're against you and actively, she said her dad was enjoying it. It's all just too much.
It's sick.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll try to transition into something a little more lighthearted. This is something that you brought to my attention.
Oh, I'll take credit for it. What is it?
Well, the new Netflix dating show, Sexy. What is it called? Sexy Beast.
If there's any way to transition out of that clusterfuck of an emotional downfall, it's Sexy Beast, the new dating show on Netflix that premieres on July 21st, which feels like too far away. Like, it doesn't seem soon enough. In a world where we're all reeling over human trafficking, like, we need a distraction like Sexy Beast right now.
And I had heard nothing about it. And Lizzie goes, well, just watch the trailer. And we got to talk about this on the show. And it's as if they had watched... Well, Netflix is increasingly getting crazier with their dating shows and the way that they're having people date, because obviously people love dating shows. And I feel like they just watched The Masked Singer become a massive success on network television. And we're like, let's do that.
Let's do that, but with love. It's so funny. It's like, it's almost, it's like a sick joke watching these people with their alien face makeup and their fox ass faces kissing on dates. Like,
the prosthetic. I mean,
I wish I still did drugs. Like, what a great show to watch, like a little bit high out of your fucking mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I could, I would eat shrooms and binge watch that whole fucking thing. It'd probably be the funniest shit you'd ever, or maybe the most disturbing.
The costumes are incredible. Because they make them beasts. And so, but they must sit in the makeup chair for hours before they even get to go on the date. And then at that point, there's nobody. You could put the most interesting person in the world in front of me. I'd be like, I was just in 3 hours of fucking hair and makeup.
I hate you. I hate it. Here, I'm itchy.
And then they start kissing in the masks in the trailer. And it's just, I
love it. I kind of want to do that with you. I want to go on a date with you in full beast makeup.
We should find the makeup artist and do that.
I actually have a guy who could do it for us.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. He did stuff for Jeffrey one time. Jeffrey wasn't turned into an alien or something.
And he did that?
Yeah. He worked on the team of people who did that. It's a team. Guaranteed there's like 3 artists per fucking beast.
Okay, well, we're looking forward to that. I probably won't watch it, but I'll look forward to your recaps.
But can we do a date like that?
I mean, we could do a podcast like that. I think that would be fun.
Okay,
if we got we could choose our characters.
We should morph our voices too and have them guess which one of us is which.
So it's the Masked Podcaster.
The Masked Podcast.
I think they know.
I just spit everywhere. I've never been so happy in my life for an idea.
This
is what menstruation does to a bitch. It makes her crazy.
Don't you think by the way that we converse in things, though, they'll know? Just by who intros the show?
I mean, that's kind of the point, right? But yeah. Or no, we'll just go crazy with it. We could even throw in a guest that they don't see coming.
This is pretty epic.
Let's do it.
The Masked Podcaster.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Sick.
With that, I did think it would be fun to do because there's an increasing amount of commenters that want to know a little bit more about Chris, our cameraman.
Chris, the Lego boy, the mirror man.
The man that makes it all happen. The man who sets up all the cameras. The man who edits the show for us and the majority of the show for us. He does all the angles.
The boy who's operating 4 cameras right now for us. And we have no light on you, bro. But you're cute regardless.
I think it looks good. When Morgan sat over there, the lighting was good. Are you rolling though, Chris?
I think so.
Okay, welcome to the show.
Clap? Should I not?
What?
Like for.
Where's your slate?
Whatever.
Do you want me to slate you?
Whatever you're comfortable with, because it's your problem.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the one editing it.
This is your job, Chris.
Yeah. I think the clap will work.
I think it's about time that people got to see your face in all of its glory.
It's a good face.
No.
Do you feel
It's not.
It is.
Do you feel intruded upon, or are you excited to be here
I feel strange.
and give them what they want?
I feel very, very strange. This feels wrong.
No,
I
sometimes
tape you guys.
you're sometimes in front of the camera though. Is that okay for me to say?
Yeah, but not like the. I don't know. Not like on a
Not
podcast.
not as yourself.
Yeah. I mean, I've acted.
He's an
I
actor.
like acting.
Speaking of acting.
Oh gosh.
That's-
Oh my God, acting.
Maybe you
fuck.
could read with me next time, because Shane and I were having issues. Like I was like, if I subject my boyfriend to any more of this, we're gonna get into a fight because I was so bad. So maybe you could come over and read with me.
I would love that.
I did think about calling you too.
I'd love to read with you.
I thought about it.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm busy.
You are really busy though.
I like literally just started crying, but it's not real. She's crazy. Don't look at me.
Well, my dream is for us to be on a show together.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
I think that'd be so fun. We have little trailers.
This is all about Chris, and look at us making it about
Chris
ourselves. Okay, so we pulled Instagram, we put a nice little photo out there, and we said, ask us some questions about Chris. So some people hit us with some questions. The first one being, did you know Ryland and Lizze before you started working with them on the podcast?
And be honest.
I did not know Ryland and Lizze before working with them on the podcast. I knew Shane before working on the podcast.
Of course he knew
Yeah,
Shane.
Chris actually came into my life through Shane. Mm-hmm. I think at the time you had hit up Shane and said, oh, if you ever need any extra like helping hands on any of your projects, let me know. And he was like, I don't personally, but my boyfriend does.
Yeah.
And then I tried you out on Making Over the Shed, actually. It's the first time for the podcast I was making over the shed.
So he's been here longer than me.
He's been here longer than you. And then...
Has it been a year? Has it been over a year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well over a year.
Mm-hmm.
But if you were here for the Shed remake or makeover,
that's way before.
I wasn't signed on to the podcast at that point. So you've been on the podcast longer than me.
Well, he started on the main channel first.
Right.
And then...
Didn't we all?
And then his camera work was great. And then when the podcast came about, and now Chris kind of, every time I'm not vlogging, it's Chris. So if you ever hear...
Chris.
It's always Chris. Christopher.
It's really funny because someone messaged me asking, they were like, are you Ryland's cameraman? And I was like, I hope so. I love working with him. I was like, I don't know.
Save that opinion. It's one of our questions later.
This one's like a curveball, but does Chris want kids? Like,
There's that one coming.
I would love to have kids one day. Although in my mind, I thought I'd have kids by now. Like, I feel old. I don't know.
I guess I don't even know how old you are.
He's 30.
I am.
One.
I'm old. I'm
older.
Almost 31. July 17th. Don't age me.
Oh, see.
I'm 31, so don't act like it's too old for you, Chris.
Wow, I'm so young.
You're so young.
I'm so young.
I have to go.
Are you the oldest?
Of course, I'm the oldest and the wisest and
But
the
you look the
prettiest
best,
and the
yeah.
wittiest and the New York Cityest.
I was going to say, you're the best looking.
Thank you.
It's true.
Oh my God, Chris, you think so?
How many kids do you want?
In my dream world, I always thought I would have 3, and one would be like, and this is like so complicated, but one would be like part like Kalani's, my partner, is Hawaiian, and so like I'd have like a Hawaiian surrogate, and we'd have one that way, and then the other surrogate would be like from him and like a part Latino European surrogate, and then we'd adopt the third one, and that's never gonna happen, but that's like my dream world.
That is everything.
I do love that.
Yeah.
Do you have names picked out for your imaginary children?
No, I didn't go that far.
Mine are all going to be named Elizabeth or Joseph.
Really?
Yeah, Joseph 1, Joseph 2.
You would do that. And I would like it. I'm into it.
All of them? What if you have like 7 kids? They're all going to be Elizabeth and Joseph.
I feel like someone recently told me that all the women on their like mother's side of the family were named like Maria, but then they went by their middle names. So like Maria, Christina, but they called her Christina.
I think you should just do all the middle names, Lizzie or Joe, if they're depending on.
I don't know. I like it if we all have the same name. It makes it easy.
All right. Best advice you've ever received, Chris. Hit everyone with the knowledge bomb.
I have nothing.
You don't have
No one's ever given him advice. Look at him. He works for us. Somebody advise this man.
No, don't take Chris away from us.
Don't tell Chris he can have better.
I mean, I don't know. My dad just said work hard, and that's the most important thing.
You
but
do.
I don't have any.
You do work hard.
You work very
Sometimes
hard.
I have to like be like, Chris, are you available? He's like, I'm working solid for the next 7 days. I'm like, oh my gosh, well, what am I supposed to do?
All I do is work. I don't have a life.
So none.
Not really. I'm sorry.
No, I think work hard is really important.
Okay, well, we kind of already tumbled over this, but are you gay or straight?
Yeah, what's up with that?
I'm a gay man.
You're gay man?
Gay man.
Some of the girls are just so upset because I know you still get DMs being like hitting on you or excited. They want Chris, the ladies.
I get DMs about
Really?
Chris.
Should I have had you do the straight man audition this week? I should have forwarded it to Chris.
I mean, he is a real actor.
I did see a comment of someone saying that me and Morgan have chemistry, which I thought was very funny.
Yeah, I saw a few people trying to set you guys up as well in the
I
comments.
do love that.
I guess I have to date her. Are you okay if I do that, Ryland?
I mean, you should ask your boyfriend.
You might have to move to Colorado.
We'll figure it out.
Well, and what's the deal with the ring? Are you married?
I have a promise ring. I'm not married.
Well, you guys have been together for the long haul.
Yeah, July 1st will be 10 years. So it's been a long time.
That's more than us.
We should be asking you relationship.
Yeah, how do you make it
advice.
work?
Yeah,
What's
oh
the
my gosh.
deal?
What is your secret to a long-lasting relationship?
Oh God, I don't know.
Is it blowjobs?
We're blowjobs. That's it. I don't know. We're just super in love, and we're both willing to compromise. A lot of people aren't willing to compromise in relationships. I feel like a lot of people have like a dream idea of what a relationship is in their mind, and aren't willing to like put in the work that it actually takes to be in a relationship because it's a lot more work than people think.
What I do like about you is that how giddy you still are about him. Like Chris like smiles like a little schoolgirl
Look
if
at
we
him
start
right
talking
now.
about it. And it's like, wow, after 10 years, you're like a little schoolgirl.
You love him.
I love him so much.
Oh,
I do. I don't know. I'm very lucky.
Wow. Yeah, Chris is one of the happier people I know, which is annoying.
this fucking guy. Look at him checking the cameras while we're shooting. We're like literally the worst. We're like, sit down. Are you both being on camera? We don't care. So you're gay?
Are the are the 4 cameras in focus? Lizzie chose this one. Do you like Ryland or Lizzie more?
Oh God.
You can be honest. My
Yeah,
feelings
you can
won't
be
hurt.
honest.
Lizzie's gone out of, well, you've done nicer things, but also meaner things. So like you'll go out of your way to deliver soup when needed. Like
No, soup wasn't needed. I brought him that cup of noodle because I wanted to use him. I mean, I like spending time with him. I really like spending time with Chris, but it's like, I don't hang out. So like the one time we hung out, we were also like working. We were working out a visual effect.
that's
I
how
wanted
you
to
hang
try.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's my love language.
And I was going to say the other way, like the opposite of that is Lizzie sometimes just like coming into your messages being like, I need you to work tomorrow for free all day long.
Oh, I think I also did that. Or no, I hit him up one time. I was like, hey, I need you to work for free this day. Ryland said I'm supposed to tell you you don't have to say yes.
Well, yeah, because I was like, if you ruin the relationship with our cameraman.
He knows he never
Okay.
has to work for free.
I just know like some people, it's hard for them to say no. Some people just have a hard time
to
saying
a beautiful
no.
woman like me.
Yes.
Shit.
It's true.
Sorry, Chris.
So here we go making it about ourselves again.
right.
So next question, right? I mean, no,
it's me.
I love you both for different reasons.
I wouldn't be offended if you said Lizze, honestly.
You're both really...
That feels like a weird
okay.
trap you're setting.
He's not back the following week. I have a week off to find his replacement. He's like, Lizze, and I'm like, got it.
Oh, we heard you. We heard you.
On Instagram, I post like looking for a
cameraman.
videographer. Fine, we won't make you choose.
Oh, your socks are so cute.
Thank you. Little Boston Terriers.
Are you sure those aren't pugs?
Yes, because I had a Boston Terrier.
Right.
Shots fired.
What was your first? Oh, that's kind of the same thing. I guess we could still do first impressions of Lizze and I.
First impressions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be honest.
Livy, the face you gave me.
Did I scare you? Did I scare you from the get-go?
Yeah, you do that almost every podcast, though, so I should be used to
See, people are always intimidated by me, and I think that's so weird.
I wonder why every time he slays.
But that's also my love language.
Right.
When I first met you both, I thought you were both really funny. And Lizze, I remember like right away, we had a lot in common with like horror movies and like music and stuff. And I was just like, we have so much in common.
Yeah.
And Ryland, I was like, I just hope I was very I was like, I just want to do a good job. I want you to like my work, you know? So I was like, I feel like that was my only thing. I was just like, please like my work. And I was too nervous, but like you were incredibly sweet and you always have been.
Yeah. And now.
So you think Ryland's sweet?
Well,
Yeah.
and Morgan uses Chris now too sometimes. And I like that Chris is very personable, but he's also good at his job. Like it's not awkward when we're not rolling. Like it's never weird. It's very comfortable. And I can say, I can be myself around what?
I'm so happy you said that. Hold on, wait a minute. This is my biggest fear is that like, I think I'm the most awkward human in the world and I'm so shy. And like sometimes when we're like, I'll be like saying bye and I'll be like, all right, I'll see, bye, Ryan. And then I'll walk out and the whole way to the car, I'm like, fuck, you're so weird. Why are you like this? He hates you. And so you just said that. I'm like, oh, thank God.
He never noticed.
No. But yeah, no, I think it's great.
I liked Chris because I would always be like, do you want to come sit next to me while I smoke a cigarette? And he'd be like, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be like, thank God.
Well, and the thing, like filming, I mean, the podcast is intimate, but even like main channel videos or vlogs, it's like you're in our lives in very weird, vulnerable moments.
Like when he's vomiting after eating 10,000 calories, like you're
it's a good
there.
video. Yeah. And it's been great. Okay. It's 29 minutes.
Do his segues hurt your feelings? No. All right. Okay. It's been 29 minutes. Enough of Chris. Back to us.
No. We just have to cut down and restart. I do want to do a few deal breakers. Today's episode is sponsored by Daily Harvest. And when the weather gets warmer, the last thing I want to do is be a sweaty mess up in my kitchen, cooking over the hot stove, setting off my fire alarm. No, thank you. But I also don't exactly want to order takeout for every meal, which I can fall in a rut of doing. And that is why I'm obsessed with Daily Harvest. Daily Harvest delivers delicious harvest bowls, flatbreads, smoothies, and more, all built on organic fruits and vegetables delivered right to your door. It literally takes minutes to prepare, and I love knowing that the food that I'm eating is actually also good for my body. Daily Harvest never uses preservatives, added sugar, or anything artificial. My personal favorite right now, I am loving Daily Harvest scoops. They're plant-based ice cream. They're refreshing and delicious. You can pop one in after dinner or even just after being outside for a while. And I'm also loving their papaya mango smoothie, which is the perfect refresher for a warm,
so good.
hot summer day. Daily Harvest is all about leaving the earth a better place than they found it, not just for us, but for future generations to come. They focus on increasing biodiversity, investing in organic farming practices, reducing food waste, and even prioritizing recyclable and compostable packaging. Daily Harvest is delicious food, all built on whole organic fruits and vegetables that conveniently stays fresh in your freezer so it's ready when you are. It really is the whole package, and I can't say enough good things about them because it's so delicious. All right, you guys, so stay cool, calm, and collected during the summer heat. Go to dailyharvest.com and enter code THESIP to get $25 off your first box. That's code THESIP for $25 off your first box at dailyharvest.com. dailyharvest.com, code THESIP. While we have Chris, I've seen a few people want his input on some of the deal breakers. So behind you, I put the scenarios and a stack of deal breakers. And I thought,
I love you getting your own little card. Here they are.
so I thought, Chris, why don't you choose the scenario for us?
The scenario is you're about to have sex for the first time.
Okay, got it.
That's the scenario.
That's a good scenario.
Do I pick a thing?
Yeah.
A blue card. They invite you to their high school reunion.
Right before you're about to have sex.
I'm 30, so that's a deal breaker.
Well, high school reunions are 10 years after.
Oh, I'm
So they'd be
stupid.
28. Well, I think they're 10 years after, right?
Yeah, 10, 15, 20,
Yeah, when are...
25, 30.
Because I went to a weird school, like a weird Christian school, but it was like we had one like 5 years after, or a couple years after.
Oh, that is weird.
Yeah.
I mean, ours was 10, and I don't know when the next one is. I didn't go to the first one, which I feel bad about because my friend Katie really tried hard to plan it.
I didn't get invited to mine, which really offends me. Like, nobody went out of their way to find me for that.
And you're like a public entity.
They're like, we're good without that guy.
Oh, honey.
I probably would have gone.
If it makes you
you
feel better, if you go to the school that I graduated from, like there's pictures of like the graduating class and I'm not there. Like I'm just not anywhere. Like people act like I didn't go there.
That's heavy.
Did you go to yours?
Fuck no.
None of us went.
No, I feel bad about not going, but
I would.
I also had extreme anxiety about it.
For Chris's, I would say deal breaker.
Not necessarily for me. I'd kind of love that. I'd be like, you want me to be the girl you rub in your foes' faces.
I guess that is a compliment.
Be like, that felt good. Sorry, my mom keeps texting me. Hey, mom. She's a big fan of the pod. So right before we have sex, I find out that wherever they go, they always wear a backpack. Oh, not a deal breaker.
No, because
I always have a backpack.
yeah, and for the days that you maybe don't want to have a backpack, you could put your shit in their
I'd
backpack.
love to have a homie with a backpack.
And then you don't have to have a sweaty back if it's hot outside. They do.
Yeah, that's not a deal breaker. That's great, actually.
yeah, that works for you. They carry your backpack, Chris.
Okay, let me see. Out of the blue, they tell you that your kids would be brilliant and good looking. I mean,
fuck yeah.
who's that a deal breaker for? Well,
me.
right before you start having
Oh
sex.
no, that's a turn on for me. I'm like, yes.
Okay, the first time you're having sex with somebody, they look to you and they go, your kids are going to be so brilliant and good looking.
Yeah, I love that.
They're going to try to get you pregnant in that moment.
Yeah,
the first
I
time.
love that
What
for
if the
some
sex
weird
is
reason.
bad and then you're stuck with them?
Good point. Shit.
Does that change since we're gay? Is that different?
I guess because they can't. Neither party can get impregnated.
I mean, we can try, but it doesn't.
Yeah, I've been trying for
reread
4
the
years,
card.
Chris.
I don't know science.
You
work.
haven't been, you've been trying to get pregnant
Yes.
yourself. Right.
I'm
right.
like actively
like a
trying.
seahorse daddy. Read that card again though.
They tell you that your kids would be brilliant and good looking right before you have sex.
Yeah, it's a turn on for me.
Well, because I'm gay and it's not realistic, I'm fine with it.
I guess I'm fine with it.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you be fine with that? You guys are fucking weird.
Okay, Chris.
Oh, do I grab one? At the end of your date, they invite you in for a massage.
Fuck yeah.
I
Great.
think that's awesome, personally.
I mean, I'm going to get a boner, but fine.
Well, you're right before you have sex.
Oh, can I say something about massages really quick?
Yeah.
When you were talking about like your fear of getting a boner, I've only had a couple massages in my life and they were horrifying because the guy, it was like this older man who was like massaging like on my thigh and he kept going higher and higher. And I was like, you're getting very near my penis. And I didn't know. And then he just like grabbed it. Like he just like grabbed at least the tip of my penis. And he like stopped and he pulled his hands. Like he like very slowly was like, and then he just like was quiet. And then he like moved to the other side.
That's such a compliment. It's longer than he was expecting.
Awkward.
So if he wasn't trying to do it, that just means like he didn't think your dick was going to be that far down your leg, which means Chris confirmed.
No.
That was his actual dick silhouette in that TikTok that got him
And that's why
banned.
they like did, they took the editing down and TikTok saw it was real and they were like, this has got to ban him.
No.
Wow. The more you know. The more you know. I have a huge dick too.
Same.
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, BDE all day, bitch.
I believe that.
Thank you.
I forgot what we were talking about.
Oh,
The
Oh,
card.
it's my turn.
The massage.
Would you? No, didn't we all address?
Yeah, we're fine.
We're fine.
Well, you and I don't know.
Everything's fine.
Lizzie and I are about to
here.
have a boxing match after this episode.
No, I love you. You're giving me anxiety. I love you. You look me in the eyes.
Can we go on a walk after this?
If I can borrow your shoes.
Okay.
Yeah. They are training to... no. Fuck no. This is a deal breaker.
What?
Oh, I felt like I don't even have to finish reading it. It's so fucking stupid.
Well, we want to know.
They're training to free climb El Capitan in Yosemite. Fuck no.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about that every day.
I don't want to hear about that ever. I don't need a baby daddy whose like joy in life is like death-defying feats. Like,
Wait, they're telling me about training to climb when we're about to have sex?
yeah.
Is that what's happening?
I mean, we have to check
Which
in with
makes it
Anna
even
about these
worse.
actual rules, but like, do you want to date someone who free climbs?
That actually doesn't bother me. I don't know.
It's a death wish.
It's like dating a... Yeah.
That's like terrifying. It's like, why would I invest my love in you? Like, my heart hurts right now thinking about if Joe was like, I'm going to start, free climbing. Like, well,
I also just don't want to hear about it.
You don't.
Like people that run marathons, it's like,
I
it
do.
seems similar to that. And it's like, okay, I get that you woke up at 5 a.m. and ran 7 miles before I even woke up.
and
I
then they
get
like
it.
wrap themselves in those tinfoil blankets as if they've survived a
Yeah.
natural disaster. And it's like, you did this to yourself. You paid for this.
Yeah.
And you shut down traffic in the entire fucking city.
And good
so that
for
you
them.
could shake and eat like an oatmeal bar in my fucking way, on my way to fucking my 9-to-5 bullshit minimum wage job. I hope you feel fancy.
Okay.
That feels like something Tyler would do.
They use a 2-for-1 coupon for dinner with you. I'm right before sex. I mean, I'm all about it once we're dating, not on the first date.
I mean, if they hit it for me on the first date, that's one thing.
Actually, even on a first date, I don't know if I'd be mad about it. I'm for a deal. I like a good deal.
Yeah, I guess you are, huh?
Yeah, I'm into a deal. Like, I'll go out of my way for a deal.
I would. So here's where I'm an asshole. I would do it, but would be offended if someone did it at me. Like, I would do that to someone, like, without even thinking it's weird. And then if someone did it to me, I'd call Ryland and be like, is this weird? This guy did this.
I mean, I'd be worried to do that on a date with someone. So I don't know. I mean, I kind of don't care so much, but I'd be worried to do it.
Right.
I guess it's...
But you're also worried to say goodbye to us.
I have a lot of anxiety.
I like, I just think being as real as possible up front. Like, I think putting everything out there up front is, if you're just looking to sleep with somebody, don't pull this move. But if you're like thinking this person is a suitor, I want to give all my bad baggage right up front so that they know what they're getting themselves into.
But using a 2-for-1 deal isn't bad baggage.
I know, but it could be like somebody like you could be offended. Like, I'm not worth... You couldn't save your coupon for doing this next week with your brother?
I mean, I don't know. If I were talking to like a therapist about it, I feel like they would say like, oh, but Lizzie, you would do that. So maybe is this all stemmed from your self-loathing and should you give yourself a chance at love?
Wow.
And I would be like, no, fuck me. I'm on my period, therapist. I want the world to burn.
Okay, let's have Chris do the last one.
By the way, it's very weird hearing you guys like
You
this.
love it, right?
You just don't.
Oh my gosh.
It's so strange.
Isn't
the
it, Chris?
headphones.
Yeah.
Doesn't it make you feel like you're not in the world anymore?
Yeah, it's very odd. I
It's
don't
like
know.
the sim is real.
You both sound amazing like this. Though.
Should we like all whisper at each other sexy?
I don't know how to be sexy.
That's not sexy.
That
That was not sexy.
They tell you they've paid for sex before you're gonna have sex is a deal. That's a deal breaker to me.
Yeah. I think that's just... Like, keep it to yourself. Even if you have... Like, I'm not mad if you have. I just don't really want to know about it.
But like also right before sex.
I wouldn't be offended by the person telling me that because there's also like an insane stigma around sex workers.
True.
So like I would feel like, I don't know, it's sort of like a declaration of you might think I have a skeleton in my closet, but it's not. I don't consider it a skeleton, so I pay for sex sometimes.
But why right before you guys had sex?
Because I don't think we're playing this game right.
Do you know what I mean? Like that's the weird part for me.
Well, I think that's where we can end the podcast. Chris, thanks for letting us expose you. I'm glad everyone got to really meet you rather than just get us barking at you for a couple of seconds during this thing. I feel like that's the equivalent of what we do sometimes.
Yeah, I do too.
Well, then
but they're love barks.
they're, yeah.
Are they?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I love you. Do you also need to go for a walk after this?
Probably.
I'll walk you. I'll take you for a walk.
All right, you guys, remember we won't be here next week, but the following week and every week after that, we'll be sitting right here. We love you so much. If you want to follow us on social media, we're at The Sip Official. We're also on there personally. Thank you. If you like our show, please just tell one of your friends about it. Say, hey, I love this podcast. You should listen to it too. And I guess
free
that's
Britney.
all.
If she hasn't already been freed by the time this airs, let's go get our girl.
Yeah. Free Britney. And with that, we love you very much. Goodbye.
And that's the sip.